Buddies, Ron and Fez show. I'm Ron, there's Fez.
Hiya, buddies.
Earl and the Leonard Cohen today, huh, Earl?
Yes, I love the Leonard Cohen. I love that voice like that.
Leonard Cohen, there's a brand new documentary, Leonard Cohen, I'm Your Man. YouTube, Rufus Wainwright, Nick Cave, among others, are all in it. And we're going to have the director on the phone today?
Yes, Leon Lutzen will be on the phone to talk about the film, which opens on June 21st here in New York City.
Is that right?
Yes.
Just New York?
June 21st in New York, June 30th in Los Angeles.
It always kills me that so many of these great documentaries, they come to New York and L.A., and then they kind of go out here and there. And in the meantime, Cars is in 4,500 theaters. It's just, there's something deeply, deeply wrong with that.
Yeah, if Cars took that long to roll out, or even, had to start in New York and L.A., people would be marching in the streets then.
You know, this film Cars, it was actually playing in people's cars. You just can't stop it. It's everywhere at the same time. They ought to just, whoever puts this out, what is it? It's Pixar, right?
Yeah.
Disney. They rent out the moon, they get a screen, and they shoot it on the moon and let everybody watch it in one damn night. And that'll be the end of it. All right, Ron and Fez show, 866-RON-0-FEZ, 866-RON-0-FEZ. We are going to be in D.C. next Tuesday, Fez?
Next Tuesday, that's the 20th of June, we'll be there at XM.
So we were told we could bring in a certain number of listeners. We thought it was going to be wide open for everybody. It's not, so we got a lot of response to it. But Earl had to weed through and, of course, pick some of the people out there. And when I say pick some of the people out there, check with Mikey Boy and think what he thought was the best idea. But so Earl made his picks. Then he sends out this email, and people sent me copies of it, where it looks like you're bossing people around, Earl.
No, I just had to make things very clear on what was going on.
I don't know if you can scream in an email, but you've managed to scream out no exceptions at least 3 times during this.
No, again, I wanted to be perfectly clear about, and you know what also happened?
Yeah.
One person already said, well, can I do...
Yes, maybe that's going to happen in life from time to time. But I don't want these guys getting an email that says, thanks for listening, we hate you. That's not the point of making this fun little trip. Now I found out it's Employee Appreciation Day.
Yeah, Employee Appreciation Day at XM headquarters.
Yeah, and so there's going to supposedly be a lot of... prizes for you, Fez.
Oh, nice.
Just the appreciation of what you've done here over the last 10 months.
I hope I'm greeted with a bouquet and a lot of other things. No exceptions.
And a lot of people don't realize this. In XM, Fez was the third employee. He was right there at the beginning.
Oh, I was there before the satellite was in space.
But you had to carry your own lunch. You used to bag lunch it every day.
Yeah, because, struggling little company, trying to get up off the ground, third employee.
Yeah. And you said it was always scary in those early days going to that part of the city because you considered it...
White people are so scared of black people.
...town. And it was rough, crazy days, but now look how it's... Now it looks how it's exploding.
Now it's paid off, and I feel glad that finally XM seen fit to appreciate me on next Tuesday.
Right. Employee Appreciation Day. Everybody bring a gift for Fez. Small gift. It doesn't have to be over the top. I'm going with a $25 and lower.
Ooh.
I thought that would be nice for everybody.
If I could go home with just a big stack of $25 gift cards to different online stores.
I'd rather see you opening stuff up, Fez. I'd rather see you going, oh my God, what is it? And, stuff for your cubicle. I know that you have a little cubicle and you like to hang up gag stuff.
Well, a lot of times they have that competition for best cubicle decorations, and I like to win that every year, especially around the holidays, where I go totally secular.
What's that mean?
Just, I do some Santa Claus. I don't try to do a menorah and a Christmas tree and a Kwanzaa thing or anything.
But Santa Claus, that's secular?
Yeah, I think so.
Saint Nick?
Huh.
Catholic. 100% Catholic.
Oh, maybe that's why I'm having trouble winning that competition.
I really see a lot of you other Christians. See me throw the quotes up there? Christians. Just piggybacking off the work that the Catholics have done. By the way, I'm looking up here. It is World Cup time. Right now, 0-0. The game just started about 9 minutes ago. England and Trinidad Tobago.
Yeah, I guess it's like a handicap match where England's having to play two countries.
I got a problem with that. Right from the is it Trinidad or Tobago? It's really bullshit. Why don't we start going like this? All right, well, who wants to play United States and Brazil? And we'll take all you fuckers on.
Yeah, it's like if you're going to go ahead, this is World Cup, this is the big leagues. If you're going to put a team out there, Tobago and Trinidad should each be able to sport one by themselves.
I will also, have you ever seen these places, Fez?
Never.
Yeah, it's about as big as any beach. It's just really, really tiny places. As a matter of fact, I was watching something on this. I think it was like 16 years ago or 17 years ago, some dumb thing. They thought they were on their way to the first World Cup. They played the United States, who they thought were terrible. Somehow we get this lucky win. They stopped playing soccer for 3 years. This little island was so depressed that nobody even went out to the soccer field.
It's all they had. There's no industry or anything else. That was all they had.
Joe, you're on Run of Fez.
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Don't worry about us.
How
you
doing?
doing?
Idea for Fezzy. Maybe he should register at Macy's. Maybe he'll receive a nice window treatment.
You know, Fez, you could be one of those people who does windows.
Oh, I would love to do that. Anytime I'm walking through New York City and I see someone like at Saks or something redoing a window,
yes,
I will stand there and just stare at them. Just watch it. I get so caught up in that.
Just stand there with your dick out, and then finally they're going to turn around and see you?
I try not to batch, but if things happen.
Ben's raw ass has a correction for me. How are you, Ben?
Hey, pretty good.
Hey, bud.
I just want to let you know, there's no such thing as 0-0 in soccer. It's 0-0.
Yeah, I got to get involved in that nil stuff, as I can't seem to bring... Every time I say nil, I think Nils Lofgren, and then I go over and grab one of the old East Street albums. And it's a waste of time for me.
I'd never heard the 0-0 thing.
Well, you know how they always say in soccer, 2-0,
oh, yeah.
3-0, so it'd be 0-0, 0-0.
President Bush, he's had to apologize to an L.A. Times reporter.
About there not being any weapons of mass destruction and basically the way he's behaved over the last 5 years?
Oh, if he starts going down that apology slope, he's going to be sliding for a while. He made a phone call to this guy after a press conference at the White House.
You're burying the lead here, Fez. Here's what the story is. The president calls on this guy yesterday who's wearing sunglasses. Let's take a listen to it first.
Peter, you going to ask that question with shades on? No, I'm interested in the shade look, seriously.
All right, I'll keep it then.
For the viewers, there's no sun.
I guess it depends on your perspective.
Touche.
So he's busting balls on this guy for wearing shades. And it's that his kind of frat boy humor that he throws out there. It's like, a little bit on edge, like, who's the new guy? Who's the new guy? So why is he wearing shades in front of the president? Well, we find out the guy is legally blind. So now the president has that awkward, didn't know.
That's when he immediately went into his Muttley laugh of...
Then he said, how can he write? How can this man possibly write if he can't see? It's a miracle.
He would actually yell out at Ironsides, "What's with the chair, buddy?" It's just one of those things with him.
You want to stand up when the President of the United States walks into a room?
That's the thing. He sees these things as rude. Like, one of his big pet peeves is cell phones. If he hears a cell phone go off in a press conference...
Because he doesn't know how to work one.
He's just furious that this happened to the President of the United States. He sees a guy with shades. He sees it as disrespect.
Well, remember, wasn't it Stevie Wonder that was singing for him somewhere and he actually waved to him? I'm not sure the president understands blindness. I think the entire concept of blindness is confusing to this man.
Maybe the administration might help do something against blindness if they knew what it was.
What he could do is just keep asking, just saying like ridiculous things like, hey, it's really great to see you out here. It's terrific. Because have you ever been to a party where people will try to say stuff like that to either blind people or people in a wheelchair, of acting like, hey, it's wonderful to see you out drinking with the rest of us. Then you just like, shut the fuck up. Stop acting like somehow this guy has overcome something by sitting there with a drink in his hand. Let's get the uncomfortability out of the way.
They're also the same people that will try to grab, like, the blind guy's arm or something, or his chair for him, and over-baby the blind guy more than he wants, just to prove to everyone else that they've got no problem touching a blind guy. They're not grossed out.
Yeah, I'm blind, but I don't need you to chew my food for me and spit it in my mouth like I'm a baby bird.
Or he'll overcompensate. He'll scream at him as if he's deaf. He's like, "We'll make sure we'll get this for you."
You're really doing great here. You know who I like? Ray Charles. Ray Charles is great.
Isn't he wonderful how he gets around? I'm right here in the room with you.
You're something else, my friend. You're something else.
And he'll do it right in his ear, too. He'll just go right to the, like, pretty much right to the base of the ear canal and scream in his ear.
It's terrific to see you out with everybody. So, obviously, the president didn't do it on purpose. You know, you see a guy with shades, you don't automatically think blind. Let's take a listen to of just how uncomfortable the whole situation sounded.
Peter, you going to ask that question with those shades on? No, I'm interested in the shade look, seriously.
All right, I'll keep it then.
For the viewers, there's no sun.
I guess it depends on your perspective.
Touche.
You have to understand, Mr. President, I can't tell if there's a sun or not. I'm fucking blind!
Now,
You want me to take off and let everybody look at my bug eyes? I'll fucking do it.
Don't.
I'll break my bug eyes out right now.
And he was trying to be really subtle with it. It depends on your perspective, Mr. President.
And then
giving him the clue that he can't see.
And then Bush says touche, as if he understands. Why did you say touche is the first question that should come up to him. Here's Mike. Mike, you're on Ron and Fez.
Is that what Bush calls the people who can see viewers? Did you hear him? Play that clip again, Ron.
All right, yeah, let me hear it again. So thank you for setting it up.
Peter, you going to ask that question with those shades on? No, I'm interested in the shade look, seriously.
All right, I'll keep it then.
For the viewers, there's no sun.
I guess it depends on your perspective.
Touche.
Yeah, I don't know why a viewer wouldn't be able to tell whether it was sunny or not. Maybe for a listener you explain, but the viewers...
Either way, sorry, Bob.
Go ahead, man.
Either way, they finally got this bastard to apologize for something. See ya!
Well, I think he apologized because this is the first time he understood he did something wrong. I think he's got it now that a blind guy needs to have on the sunglasses.
he did make the phone call to the reporter to apologize to him the next day, and that sounds like the type of phone call his mother made him place.
Here's our buddy Matty Fridays. Hey, Matty, what's happening, pal?
Guys, how's it going?
Hey.
In something of a similar vein here, when I was working in my Friday's job, actually, I was waiting a table and I was talking to the guest, and I just looked at the woman and I said, "So, what do you do?" She wasn't pregnant. And I just caught so much hell over that because her husband just looked at me. She starts crying. All hell was breaking loose. The manager had to get involved. It was just a ridiculous situation.
Matty, I would guess in your case, saying inappropriate things is almost daily. Just about daily.
Pretty much, yeah. But this is one time I felt really bad about it.
I don't know, on ronfez.net, you will see the heat attack him as soon as he opens up his pie hole. As quick as he will send something in to ronfez.net, the Matty haters come flying in.
I'm surprised he's made it this far through a phone call without a social faux pas.
I like somebody sent me this too, Matty. You and your new brother-in-law had a disagreement the other day.
Future brother-in-law.
Future brother-in-law, yeah. You're not married yet. But he's not totally comfortable yet?
No. But I'm not going to get into it just because he's got his own thing to work out, so I'm not going to put any pressure on him.
You're going to rise above it and wait for him to finally come around?
Yeah.
Touche. Touche, my friend. All right, take care, Matty.
All right. Bye-bye.
See you later. Sheepy.
Yeah.
Not real happy.
Oh.
Matty did a thing online. It was like, hey, we're thinking about where to go for our honeymoon. We're thinking Hawaii, London. He's writing this thing up. Very next thing that comes in right after is like, how about not spending money you don't have? So later he has to explain how he's come up with the trip, that he has this all taken care of. He's got funds put aside. But, I mean, it's so awful anyway to be in a family. But then to have it come out on a message board, I can't even imagine.
Sheepy using inside information against him.
Here is Kendall. Kendall, you're on Ron and Fez. How you doing, buddy?
Good, guys. How you guys doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Hey, my dad is blind, and sometimes he overcompensates in the other direction. Like, whenever he's talking about what time it is, he's got to be somewhere at a certain time, he'll look at his wrist. Because he could see until he was 13, and so he just assumes that looking at your wrist is part of talking about time.
So, he's got this behavior kind of embedded that he no longer really needs.
Yeah, exactly. And he likes to do things that he shouldn't be doing, like mowing the lawn. And growing up, I would always have to go back and remow the entire lawn because he just had, like, big, figure eights and crap mowed in the lawn.
I never understand people that have a handicap or, some kind of disease or whatever and still want to show that they can do it. I am so ready to quit on the mundane things in life. You don't have to worry about me. I will be sitting there going, I can't mow the lawn. I'm blind. I'm without sight. You know who I think fucks it up for blind people, too, is Daredevil. Because of Daredevil, people assume that, blind people can pull this off. They always do this in movies, where suddenly their smell is so fantastic.
Oh, yeah, and with Daredevil, he can jump off buildings. He's better than most sighted people.
866-RON-0-FEZ. 866-RON-0-FEZ. Hey, Bob. Bob, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, I don't know if you guys remember this or Earl might remember it. Back in the early 80s, Stevie Wonder was on a award ceremony via satellite, and the host of the award ceremony asked, "Can you hear me?" And then he asked, "Can you see me?" And then got booed by the whole crowd.
What a fucking maroon. Did he do it as a joke or on purpose? Because when you make that kind of mistake with, like, Stevie Wonder, that man is beloved.
People, they will jump to his side immediately. Jose Feliciano, same thing, I think.
A lot less with Jose Feliciano, Fez. If you're talking about who is loved in the world, Stevie and Jose Feliciano, that's the champ and a jobber.
I remember particularly black people would just destroy Eddie Murphy whenever he did a Stevie Wonder joke or a sight gag.
Yeah.
He was just, they were like, stop making fun of Stevie.
I know, everybody rolls into that same bit where the head's going back and forth, and it's the same, it's really been the same joke now for 40 years, the same Stevie Wonder joke. W.F. Clark, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, yeah, how you doing, guys?
Yeah.
Listen, looks like Bush had a Ronnie Tupac moment.
Yeah, where you just assume something like an idiot that is not exactly true. So what exactly was his apology?
All I know is that he made what the White House was calling a contrite phone call to the guy. So I don't know exactly what he said to him, to the L.A. reporter.
Here is Mike. Mike, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Rod. Hey, when I was younger, I was waiting tables, and I see this guy, and he's, like, bent over, and he's trying to lift something up on a table with one hand, like an appetizer tray. And I go over to him, and I say, let me give you a hand with that. He brings his other arm up, no hand.
Yeah, I've told this story before. One time when I was a kid and very, very drunk, I started a fight with a guy, only to find out that both of his hands were fucking practically useless. So I started a fight with a guy. I think I even shoved him and was doing the whole "let's go" dog shit, only to be pointed out I can't fight. My hands are useless. So then, naturally, I fall back into the drunken, quaaluded, "I'm so sorry, brother. I'm an asshole. You're fucking cool, and I'm an asshole." Keeping that, so the apology now lasts an hour and a half, and I'm getting him beers, and I'm holding it up to his mouth. Only, like, I wake up the next day and go, I'm not going to do anything about it, but obviously I have a problem. I was at what I call the East Side Dave years of taking a decade or so for myself to go, this is really bad, I'm going to keep on doing it.
I had the feeling the L.A. reporter got the same kind of apology from President Bush. Just the over-apology all drunked up.
Here is Eric. Eric, you're on Fez.
Yeah, hey, Fezzy.
Yeah, buddy.
You said that the president called the next day. Actually, the president called the guy within 2 hours, and NBC News last night had a quick little thing with the reporter, and he said that he's used to it happening, and he had no, he didn't feel any ill will towards the president. He said he realized it was just a mistake.
Well, the president didn't know him.
Yeah, he didn't know. They actually said
This is the funny part of it. No one, look, Eric, stop fucking falling in ranks and acting like we have to protect the president. The point was this could have happened to anybody, and it's funny when it happens to others and terrible when it happens to us. That's the point of the story.
And another funny thing about it is this is one of those gimmicks that the president uses when he's buying time at a podium where he'll deflect it to something kind of lighthearted. You've seen him do it a lot during the past couple of years where he tries to make jokes in between serious topics. So he hit the shades thing and really backfired on him.
David, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
Hey, about the Daredevil. Daredevil, I know this was brought up a few minutes ago, but he could actually see a little bit.
I thought that the Daredevil, the way that he saw was almost like radar, Fez.
Yeah, like a sonar type thing where if he hears sound bouncing off of something, then he can get like an image off of it.
Like a porpoise, right?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not really seeing.
That's not sight. That's sonar power.
Yeah, if I had that problem where I could only see things if sound was bouncing off of them, I wouldn't go around claiming I could really see.
What I would do is constantly take my cane and hit stuff so the vibrations will let me see what's going on.
You would just have to walk around with cymbals, so you'd be able to see everything as you're walking down the street, just making as much noise as possible.
Touche.
Touche. Touche, my friend. Hey, Todd. Todd, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddies, what's up?
Yeah.
Yeah, now you ever heard of the story with Ty Cobb, a heckler in the stands? Had no hands, and his teammates tried to pull him off him. He goes, I don't care if he got no feet. He started whipping on him.
Ty Cobb, not the nicest guy in the world, by far. No one ever brings this up. He had to be the best hitting racist in history. When you really think about it, if we had some kind of racist awards, Ty Cobb was at the top.
They don't put an asterisk there. It's just a swastika.
He was actually pre-swastika, too, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Was he pre-World War II, right, Earl?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so he basically was way in front of Hitler, when you really think about it.
He's one of the greatest players to ever play the game, but the writers and the players hated him so much, they hardly acknowledged it. He was always upset that Ruth got all the heat, and he was like, that fat fuck couldn't run as fast as I could.
Yeah, but Ruth, it's the same today. Ruth hit the long ball. Everybody has always been attracted to the long ball.
And he has one of the, I think a record that'll never be broken, 367 lifetime batting average.
Yeah, but they also used to pitch underhand then. So, but again, 367, unbelievable batting average. Add the fact that he had to keep up with his racism, and it's phenomenal. When you think how much was going on in his head.
He was one of the first guys. He would sharpen his spikes before a game.
Yeah.
And just he pretty much invented taking a guy out at second base.
Well, one of the things that he used to always tease Ruth about is because he thought he was black, too. And he would always be bringing up his nose to people. That's not a white man's nose. All right, would you drop it, Ty? Every time we play the Yankees, I've got to hear about the width of fucking Ruth's nose.
One time there was a cross burning on Ruth's lawn. It was just two baseball bats intersecting together. They think it was Cobb.
Hey, Zach. Zach, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, buddies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that last guy that just called in, he's a damn moron. Nobody ever said Daredevil could see, and I don't know where he was getting it from. It was always radar and his other senses all acting together to really just heighten everything else because he couldn't see. And that guy was an idiot. I don't know what he was doing.
Thank you very much, boy. You know, you can talk about anything, but if anybody makes a comic book faux pas, boy, does a shit storm start to hit there. Fez, I was saying that the new Spider-Man He's taking his mask off on the comic books now.
Yeah, that's a new Marvel series. I think it's called Civil War, where the premise is there's a new superhero registration act, so all superheroes have to unmask and register their real-life identities with the government.
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man is on the side in favor of registration. So
who's against?
Captain America doesn't want to unmask. And I thought he was a government project, so the government knows his name anyway.
Hey, Buckles, you're on Ron and Fez. Buckles.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Hey, Ron, I was just coming back to one of those awkward moments. I was seeing an Elvis impersonator down in Tennessee.
Sure.
And they were...
Where else? What else is there to do there?
Do what? Sorry. And during his performance, there was this woman that kept screaming, Elvis, Elvis, and she wouldn't stop. And he was getting aggravated, and he kept saying, is there a dog out there? And finally he got him to bring up the house lights, and the girl was like Stephen Hawking in a wheelchair, couldn't move but just her face, and yell at him, and the guy just completely walked off stage.
Just fuck it. I'm no entertainer. Let's face it. Why couldn't you roll with that? Why couldn't you act like that was part of the fun? You buy her a drink, you keep going like you always knew. The last thing you want to do in life is act like you don't know what's going on.
Just win the room back. Just pay her a compliment. You look beautiful, darling. You know, just say something. Just
right.
Go serenade her.
Fucking stay with it.
Diffuse the situation a little bit.
Stay on top of it. Just don't do the drop mic. I'm leaving. Just a guy walking out with his head down. This is Elvis saying, my real name is Tony Verone. Fuck this. I quit. Here's Al. Al, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, yeah. I almost got my behind kicked by a one-legged man at my favorite strip joint last week.
Al, you're probably one of the tough guys, son. One-legged guy kicking the shit out of you?
Yeah, that's right.
Wasn't the old one-legged guy in an ass-kicking contest an old joke? So what happened? What did you say to him?
Well, I was giving my favorite stripper a hard time. She was sitting on this guy's lap, and I seen a set of crutches laying on the floor. I asked her who she crippled up now. And I didn't know the guy had one leg that she was sitting on his lap.
Well, you knew he had crutches. What the fuck do you expect?
Hey, I never said I was a smart man.
Yeah, I don't think you've been sober very often. All right, talk to you later, buddy.
Look who's giving half a lap dance.
Yeah, I can imagine the guy getting pissed, because the last thing that you ever want brought up is your shortcomings when you're working a chick. It doesn't make you happy.
And this king of the strip club feels free to comment on everybody else's business in there.
England, Trinidad, Tobago, still 0-0. Still 0-0. Well, Fez, he did bring up the thing, favorite stripper. And there is that problem when you have a favorite stripper, and then you go to the club, and she's been working this other guy, and he's got a lot of cash. So you either got to hang around, or you start to feel pissed off like you see your girlfriend with somebody.
And that's rough, the guy that's just going to sit there leaning on the bar, almost like waiting for his favorite chair, waiting for his favorite girl to come free.
Well, the other side of it, too, that's so awkward, is that when you have that girl that works you a lot at a club, then you go, I'm back here, it's a Tuesday, I'd like another girl. Everybody now looks at you like, is there something wrong? Is there something wrong between you and Portia? What's the problem? And you're like, it's not my wife. It's a fucking titty dancer. I now want some Puerto Rican tits in my face.
You can't win either way.
Yeah, you can't. It's fucking the whole titty bar thing is just too awkward. It's too awkward. Here's Kevin. Kevin, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
No, I go to an all-black law school, and so they do this orientation thing at the beginning talking about diversity and, racial sensitivity and all this. And so there's the lady up there giving the speech. She walks in, she gives a little bit of her speech, says, "Sir, would you please look at me when I'm talking to you. Don't be sleeping in here. Take off your glasses." Guy ended up being blind.
Yeah, I've brought this up before, too. When there was a substitute teacher in my 7th or 8th grade, and we had a kid with an eye patch. She thought he was just playing pirate, being a jerk-off. So she makes him remove the eye patch. And he's just got a fucking hole, like a cave right where his eyeball should be.
Oh, not even a bad eye.
Yeah, just nothing there, right? It was like formed over. It wasn't like pus or anything, but it was just skin. This big optic fucking dent in his head. So he runs out crying from his one good eye, fucking like a pussy, running down the street crying, while we all just chastise her. Are you happy now? Are you happy? You're a fucking whore. You know, we just lost. Just your one chance. Just to not even tee off on just a teacher, but an adult. And I mean, we were just leaving the floor, just screaming at her. After that, he probably takes 2 or 3 days off. He comes back to school. Fuck the patch. He's just walking around. Now the rest of us are forced to look at this fucking empty spot in the middle of his head.
The well that is his eye.
It was like one of the first days of high school. I can't remember what year I was in. So you know how like first day you try to get there a little early so you and your friends can sit in the woods and get fucking high outside, right? So high as a kite. I mean, high as high could be, bordering on tripping. I fucking walk into, my first class. There's the teacher, and you're checking out the chicks, new chicks and all. She stands up there. She's got a mannequin arm at best, right? So it just looks like this plastic. And she wants to spend this time to disarm us that, here's what I go through, here's what I'm dealing with. I get a fucking case of the giggles. You know what I mean? I can't. I'm fucking high as hell. It's not much I could hear at this time without laughing. So she's like, occasionally, someone might help me take off my boots. She's getting in that stuff. I'm fucking I'm biting on the back of my wrist, trying not to enjoy this story. On any other day, I'm sure it wouldn't have made me laugh. But, of course, then I've got everybody furious with me, as if I think it's wonderful that she's lost an arm. My laughter just comes from, here I am high. How am I going to put up with this story? Why does this has to happen to me? And I don't even have, like, one of my buddies in the class. I don't even have anybody to make eyes with and try to get them to laugh so I can get out of it. I'm just fucking left out there alone.
Last Christmas, my brother Corky brought his new girl around who has a sister who's deaf, and my dad decided at that point to go into his impression of a deaf guy he had seen at the mall earlier that week in front of this woman.
Well, she didn't hear it.
No, in front of the sister, in front of Corky's girl.
Steve, you're on Run Fez.
Morning, guys.
Hey.
Well, good afternoon. Sorry. Hey, when I was a freshman in high school, I had an Italian teacher with one fake leg. He stepped on my friend's foot one day in front of the class. My friend pulled his foot out. He shuffled off to the left really fast, like 3 steps. And every time he walked, it would click.
All right, I can't sit here and be immature with you. I can't sit around and act like there's something wrong. The guy's having to deal with it. That's one of the things you deal with. The point is this is how uncomfortable the social situations are. Not, isn't it uncomfortable that people leave the house less than whole?
He wanted us to join in on Professor Clicky with him.
Brian, you're on Run Fez.
Buddies,
yeah.
What's up? Yeah, I was going to school for culinary in Providence, Rhode Island. I went into class one day. Well, actually, before class, I got high as hell with my roommate. We go inside the class, and we had to go late because we were fucking wasted.
Right, okay. I brought this on myself. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
All right. I'm sorry. I'm fucking tanking here. I'm nervous.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to let you go. Even though, hey, I agree with you. Smoking pot is so cool. I fucking set this up. It's my fault. This now has turned into getting high stories. It's all up to me. I did it. I'll take the penalty. Hi, you're on the Ron and Fez show. Who's this? Hey, Ron and Fez. I don't have a name for you. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, this is Dan.
Hey, Dan, what's happening?
Yeah, talk about awkward moments, man. It was real uncomfortable watching Leno last night with that Ann Coulter. And she was just talking about her book and all this and just jabbing left. They had George Carlin on also. And every time she put down
the left or whatever, she'd pat George Carlin on the shoulder or look at him, you know, like just digging him. And he was wringing his hands and biting his lip. He looked like he just wanted to smack the bitch.
Well, you know, there was some kind of build-up on Drudge or whatever, like, oh, wait till this, you know, these two go at each other, as if it was going to happen. But I've been a Carlin fan for a long time. I've never thought him as political. If anything, I mean, I think he would think that both parties pretty much suck. I don't think he's real big into following along behind corporations or large parties or anything along that line. What I found more uncomfortable was Jay Leno of attempting to act like he's everyman. I guess you could say I'm fiscally conservative, socially liberal. I don't see why all the fighting. Why can't everyone be nice? Just trying to go out of his way to say, I'm not trying to lose a single fucking viewer. And then he's going, I must have got 100 emails this week, mad, saying they wouldn't watch the show anymore. 100? You got the fucking Tonight Show. If this was controversial, you should get 100 pissed off emails every day, no matter what. 100 is nothing. How many viewers do you have? Stop being a big crybaby. This guy goes through life just terrified that he's going to make a mistake, even though he's got all the money in the world.
Yeah, no one's going to come and take that show away from him at this point.
Well, 2 years they will.
Oh, yeah, when he promised he'd step down.
And no one ever talks about that. But it was basically like he was forced out, but at the end of the decade. And no one ever brings that up. I don't think anybody really believes it's true, besides Conan, who's waiting comfortably. By the way, who's the guy on after Conan? Used to do MTV, Earl.
Carson Daly?
Yeah, Carson Daly. I don't know whether you're ever up at night to see him. He's completely flipped his act. He used to do kind of a small desk, like that show has always been. That later show has always been like with Bob Costas. You know, just two guys sitting there having a conversation, almost Charlie Rose style. And for whatever reason, I guess he thinks, hey, when Conan moves up in another couple years, I want to be ready to move down. So he's flipped that entire show to where it's like Conan Letterman is what it looks like, where he actually comes out and does jokes.
Really? He's trying to do a monologue.
Well, every night, I guess. So you got to turn it on one night to check it out. But he's got everybody's mannerisms. He'll do Jon Stewart a little bit. He'll do, like every kind of that joke just bomb bit, the whole we've got no budget gimmick. It's so fucking uncomfortable.
Just roll them all into one. I'm the best of everybody. I'm Carson Daly.
It should just be called just a half hour of desperation. You can almost feel the breath leaving his body. Hey, Ron, you're on Run of Fez.
Hey, guys.
Yeah.
I used to work with a blind guy in Philadelphia. Whenever he'd walk down the street, he'd pound every street sign and every traffic light with his cane. And for weeks, all the big professionals wondered why he was doing this. They finally asked him. He said, because it feels good.
Thank you very much, my friend.
I got hit in the shins with a guy walking down the street in New York one time, swinging his cane back and forth. Crowded sidewalk, just couldn't get out of the way whatsoever. I saw him coming and just took that cane right across my shin.
Did you take him down?
No, I didn't. I did yell, ouch.
Didn't he yell, I'm blind? I'm sorry your shin hurts. I'm blind. Who's the fucking one to be pitied here?
I know. It's like a license to hit people with a stick.
866-RON-0-FEZ, 866-RON-0-FEZ. Coming up a little later in the show, we'll be talking to somebody, documentary filmmaker. A lot of feedback from yesterday's show with John Mayer stopping by.
Yeah, it was very strong feedback, they love us. I mean,
Who's they? The Mayor people?
The Mayor people love us.
I didn't know we had people. I got to get some people for myself.
The Mayor's people.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the Mayor camp was very happy with it.
Now, isn't he getting some kind of songwriting award tonight?
Yes, he's appearing at the Songwriters Hall of Fame tonight at the Marriott Marquis.
Is he getting the award or just performing?
He's being honored tonight, along with Alan Klein and Chris Christopherson.
Jesus Christ. Chris Christopherson's been around a million years.
Yeah, like 35 years or so.
If I'm Chris Christopherson, I'm like, okay, Mayor gets his award today. I've got to wait 40 years after Janice dies. Now people are willing to give me an award. I should have got it when I was younger, too.
Yeah, Christopherson's a total badass, but yeah, Mayor's getting on it tonight at the
I'm a
Songwriters
huge
Hall of Fame.
Christopherson fan. I went and saw him last summer, as a matter of fact. Amazing songwriter.
Yeah, I mean, my favorite was that Jesus Was a Capricorn?
You almost can't even start in the favorites. He's written so many, literally, classic songs. Classic songs. Hey, Bulls Balls, you're on the Ron and Fez show. Lost you, pal. Steven, you're on the air. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, I used to be a substitute teacher,
I got me.
and I was trying to get the class started, and this kid was showing pictures from his bar mitzvah to everybody, and I was like, "Listen, could you please put the pictures away? It's time to start class." And he was ignoring me. I asked him again, nicely, and then I asked him again nicely, and finally I said, "Come on, Hanukkah boy, put the pictures away. Let's go." And the kid just started crying, and he ran down to the office and ratted me out. That was the end of my career.
Yeah, but it's funny. I mean, you wouldn't get in trouble for calling someone birthday boy or Christmas boy. I'm going to say this: if a kid is showing off, no, you were wrong. Yeah, you were definitely wrong. You can't call people Hanukkah boy. When you really think about it, maybe if it was his Hanukkah pictures, you could have got away with it. But you can't just yell out, "Look how different you are from the rest of the kids," and not think that you're going to get some shit for it.
He yelled out the first thing Jewish that he could think of. "Hey, circumcision! Hey, bris! Put the pictures away!"
Dreidel, put those pictures away before I drop your ass.
Hey, Holocaust!
Do me a favor, Henny Youngman. Put those fucking pictures down now. But these things happen in life. What are you going to do? Sometimes you lose yourself, Fezzy.
He was just a sub.
Yeah, it's nothing.
He really didn't lose much in the big scheme of things.
Dave, you're on Ron and Fez. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Ron, how's it going?
Good.
Hey, listen, I wanted to bring up the Ann Coulter thing again. I don't know if you watched that last night. You mentioned something about it. Did you notice how she pointed out that liberals always roll out victims like Cindy Sheehan to make their arguments for them so that you can't...
yeah, that's her point behind this, right.
It drove me nuts because the first thing I thought was the Republicans are the kings of doing this. I mean, the whole support our troops thing, where anytime you argue about the war, they immediately say, "Oh, well, you don't support our troops." And it's like, come on, you can't make that argument.
Or the fact that Rudy Giuliani now uses 9/11 as a way to raise money. His 9/11 story is being sold constantly over and over and over. And I mean, we're all appreciative of what he did on 9/11. But you can't keep fucking tying it into, this is why we got to get this senator in Iowa elected, without thinking people are going to start and get pissed.
The Republican National Convention in 2004 was pretty much based around 9/11 and...
Fat ladies from Arkansas are crying as they're watching the tapes roll. And yeah, I mean, both sides do this shit. And Ann Coulter, the only thing is, after seeing her last night, is maybe... eat a sandwich or something, honey. You really... I mean, you're starting to look like Howard Stern in a blonde wig, and it's got to stop. It really does.
Oh, she is gangly. She looks like every joint on her just creaks as she moves. Like she really needs an oil can or something.
866-RON-0-FEZ, 866-RON-0-FEZ. Let's take a break. We're back in a few minutes. It's the Ron and Fez show. What are we doing Wednesday? Isn't somebody odd coming in on Wednesday?
We have Larry Clark.
Oh, jeez.
Larry Clark's coming in on Wednesday.
That's a little nerve-wracking, huh?
That's the yin and the yang right there.
Yeah, it is. That's a dark filmmaker, man. Oh, that's going to be odd. Let's make sure no one... let's make that bring your daughter to work day here. And then Larry Clark's sitting around. Just seeing him just look over young girls. Have you ever seen any of his films, Fez?
No, I don't think so.
Kids, Bully, they're so uncomfortable. Jeez. You watch them and you got your hands in front of your eyes.
You know what? I did see Bully, and that thing is just It's high school kids, and it's still frightening. It's just gross and disgusting and dark.
High school kids can be frightening. There's no doubt about it. That movie reminded me of, I think it was the first Keanu Reeves film, River's Edge. That thing made me hate kids, too. There are some films out there where you're just like, nothing is more dangerous than a teenage boy. They can be so cold and heartless, so frightening.
And just out of control. Like, I have no idea, end up killing somebody, just on the spur of a moment. There doesn't have to be any premeditation.
No, not at all.
Now, remember, what was that movie, Menace to Society? It was another one that was just so highly disturbing because it was just an out-of-control teenage boy, black teenage boys.
Was that the first John Hughes movie? Is his name? What is his name? The Hughes brothers?
Yeah, it was the Hughes brothers. I don't know their names off the top of my head.
I don't know either.
But they were just...
John Hughes is the teenager.
Yes.
He made teen years look okay. Pretty in Pink.
He made them awkward and silly.
Yeah.
They're just geeks.
Yeah.
But Menace to Society, they were... I think the character O-Dog, he just killed, and as if it was like, brushing your teeth or something.
Was that the one with Ice Cube? Because they all came out at the same time, those kind of early 90s Compton movies.
No, that was Boys in the Hood.
All right, I get those confused.
Me too.
All right, so the other ones where he shot the Korean ones, the Korean store lady, and then he was taking the videotape with him everywhere?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was frightening and made you feel like teenage boys are just... They should be fucking locked up for a while. Because they're all the Khmer Rouge. If you had 5 minutes, you could turn any kid into the Khmer Rouge. It would not be a problem at all. Hey, Justin, you're on Run of Fez.
Hey, how are you guys?
Yeah.
Comment about kids. I still use that line to this day about the butterscotch line, about his fingers smelling like butterscotch. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Oh, yeah, I do.
It was pretty fantastic. He was like, smells like butterscotch.
Yeah, there was even the sex, heterosex in that film was disgusting. You would not think that it could be, but we found a way. Hey, Dan, you're on Run of Fez.
Hey, what's up, guys? You ever see the movie Gummo?
I don't know this film.
I think it's made by the same director. Really disturbing about like some Midwest kids who they kill cats for food, for drug money.
It's fucking starving.
Yeah,
is there any Chinese food, Earl?
Chinese restaurant, they're selling it too.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez. The older you get, the happier you are to see cops chasing kids off corners. Every year, it seems like a better and better idea.
They got no business being there.
Get them away. Have them locked up, all of them, until they're out of these years. Here's Josh. Josh, you're on Run of Fez.
Hey, buddies, what's up?
Yeah.
You said that, I'm punching out.
Yeah, you almost had a thought, though, didn't you?
Just about.
All right. Talk to you next time. Callers are getting better every day. They're really kicking in. Really, really happy with them. It seems like they're getting the show and they're just snapping along with it.
It's a brain trust that's being put together. It's what it is. American Idol Taylor Hicks, he is ranked as the #1 hottest bachelor by People magazine.
Where? Geektown? Where the fuck is he the hottest bachelor?
At first I thought this was an AARP poll, but apparently it was done by People magazine. Retarded People magazine.
Well, he's been, let's see how many people he's laid up to this point before he became famous, if he's so damn hot.
Yeah, I have the feeling that's not going to change his love life at all. That Taylor Hicks still isn't going to be seen with babes on each arm as he's coming and going.
You know what, Fez? I'm going to take the other side there and bet against you because get on TV and you'll get laid. I don't care who you are. You get on TV, you get laid. Jesse from MTV ended up becoming a pussy hound. But you know why? MTV. It works for you.
I'm trying to figure out what People magazine found so hot about him. Was it the silver Frankenstein haircut, or was it the triple chins? Something had to catch their eye.
Maybe it was the 40 million people who watched the finale. Here is Roger. Roger, you're on Run of Fez.
Hey, that Gummo movie that guy was just talking about, I had to turn that movie off. It was so disgusting. In that movie, there's like a 20-year-old guy that these 16, 15-year-old kids pay to have sex with his retarded sister. And she's all dressed in
lingerie and shit, and they come in and she's all retarded, of course.
Better and better. I'm seriously. Every call gets a little better, and I realize to myself, something's coming together here. That community I was dreaming of is coming together.
Just trying to top each other is what they're doing. One better than the next. So this Gummo movie, I would definitely want to check this out now.
What, on the Banging the Retarded Girl does it for you, Fez?
It sold me.
Kevin, you're on Run Fez.
Yeah, I wanted to call Earl out on a little kiss butt move he did for you there, Ronnie. When you were getting confused with Menace to Society and Boys in the Hood,
yeah,
and he had to correct you, you said you always get those two confused. He said, yeah, he does too. Not quite if he was able to respond so quickly to tell you it was Boys in the Hood. He was just kissing up to the boss.
All right, yeah, Earl, you got to stop that and just be a person for yourself.
Well, I do get them confused because
you don't get them confused.
In it.
You know, you just thought that it would go a little easier if you acted like, I know, Ron, it happens to me as well.
No, I get that confused. I get it confused with the spoof movie that the Wayans brothers did on
I'm going to tell you right now, I bet if I shit myself, you would do it right after so no one would know where the smell was coming from.
I would not.
You are that loyal that if I shit myself, you would quickly do the same to make it feel like that's what happens all the time.
Just say you shit yourself so Earl will do it.
Here is Evan. Evan, you're on Run Fez.
Yeah, hey, Ronnie, I wanted to find out, if Earl's such a diehard Yankee fan, you got to watch all 162 games to be a true fan?
That's what he
What's
said.
He doing, not working now?
Earl, Yankees are on right now?
Bottom of the first, no score.
Why do we got both TVs lined up for World Cup? Why don't you have a Yankees TV on?
That I didn't even know today was. I forgot today was a day game.
So you're not a Yankee fan?
I am a Yankee fan, but you guys want to have a news channel in here. Oh.
Why? Who wants a news channel?
Just to see what's going on in the world.
What we want to see going on is the Yankees. We want to have on World Cup and Yankees. That's what's going on in the world. What am I going to wait for Bush to make fun of a guy with a fucking hearing aid? That's not my idea of news.
Take out that iPod.
Yeah. 866-RON-0-FEZ. 866-RON-0-FEZ.
Have you ever wondered about this? If you were going to be in a cover band...
Did you honestly just say this? Have you ever wondered about this?
Yeah, I did.
Come on, Mr. Watley, get to sleep there.
If you had to be in a cover band, what cover band would you want to be in?
I'm going to tell you the truth. I've never wondered about it.
Never?
Never once wondered about it. What about you, Earl? Have you wondered about it?
I'd rather be in a band than a cover band. But if I...
Power trio?
Yeah, definitely a power trio.
What would you be playing, Earl? In your fantasy, in Earl's fantasy.
If I had to be I wanted to be like in a Cream cover band. That was like the ultimate power trio. That or the Jimi Hendrix experience.
No one is going to show up to see a fucking Cream tribute band. It's just not going to happen to you. Mark, you're on Run Fez.
Hey, I was just calling up to ask if y'all seen the movie Belly. Where it had DMX and it had Nas and it had T-Boz. It came out. It was.
Believe it or not, I don't watch a lot of DMX films. Earl, did you pick up on this one?
I saw Belly on cable. It's not as bad as everyone made it out to be.
Uh-huh.
DMX can he's got some modicum of talent
well,
as far as acting goes.
If acting means you will believe that the guy will beat you up, yes, I agree with you. When you look at him, he's playing a tough guy. I think you believe in him.
He's playing a tough guy who's like trying to go straight, and
they always are, Earl. They're always trying to go straight. That's what tough guys do.
DMX has a reality show coming out this summer on BET.
Bernie, you're on Run Fez.
Yeah, I had a question. I was wondering if Black Girl gets Roots and Schindler's List confused, as well.
Earl, where are you on that one?
No, I do not get them confused.
What would you pick as the better film, Roots or Schindler's List?
Schindler's List.
You're just self-hating black man.
No,
You're a self-hating black man, Earl. You have every right to pick Roots.
No, it was made for television. One's a major motion picture.
Which one did you cry during?
When Kunta got whipped.
Yeah, and had to change to say his name was Toby.
Yeah, that was demoralizing.
Yeah.
I felt demoralized.
I don't remember crying during Schindler's List. No one ever had to say that their name was Toby during that. What about you, Fez? You had this question. We've kind of ignored you. You have a cover band you want to be in? Is that what brought it up?
Yeah, I was thinking about this. I think it would be fun to be in a Ramones cover band. Where, short songs, so I wouldn't have to learn that much. You get to put on the wigs and the sunglasses, jump around, have some fun.
Wigs and sunglasses in your Ramones cover band. That's punk. Hey, let's get our funny wigs out. Here's Jim. Jim, you're on Run of Fez. Did I step on you? I didn't mean to.
No. No, you didn't.
No, I will go to it. Is that where this is at? Are your feelings hurt because I laughed about you wearing a Ramones wig?
Oh, no. I just thought, once I brought up the question, I was pissed at myself for not having a better answer.
Earl.
That was my problem.
Why are you looking for Earl's? Earl's hiding his face. Earl and I will be there if you're in a Ramones cover band wearing funny wigs. Here's Jim. Jim, you're on Run of Fez.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, I want to call Earl out. Cream being the ultimate power trio. What about Nirvana? You got Kurt Cobain, Chris Novoselic, and Dave Grohl.
Did anyone ever call them a power trio? I don't think in the world. Power trio means that you're going real big with it, right, Earl?
Yeah, it's definitely
not playing punk and grunge.
Yeah, just the three virtuosos, big sound.
Right. So who would you consider the big power trios of all time?
Jimi Hendrix Experience, the original Jimi Hendrix Experience, Cream, and I would put Rush up there, and I missed one.
Fez, what's your name?
I can't think of the fourth one, but those would be my top three.
But, that's what it's about. It's not just having three guys in your fucking band. That doesn't make it a power trio. The power is that you're playing, and I wouldn't even say that it's heavy metal, but it's right on that edge. All right, Bill, the intern, wants to help us with this.
Earl forgot Grand Funk Railroad.
Well, I don't think he forgot him. I just don't think it made his top three. I know that you love wearing an American band and Closer to Home. We all agree with you there, Bill. You know what I'd like to do? I like to see Bill with a wig and sunglasses in that Ramones tribute band that you're putting together.
Bill may not even need the wig. He kind of looks a little Ramonish to begin with.
As many uncomfortable moments as I've seen tribute bands, I've never seen anyone wearing wigs. I think you've got that mixed up with the Mosquitoes. I think you want to be in the Mosquitoes.
Now there's a good band.
Here is Steve. Steve, you're on Run of Fez.
Hey, I'm with Fez on this. What's better than 3-minute songs as fast as you can go? Beat on the bat with the baseball bat. I mean, what kind of song titles? The lyrics are beautiful. KKK took my baby away. You got to be kidding me. Earl, you don't want to be part of that?
Earl, do you want to be the only black guy in a tribute band for the Ramones? You'll have to wear a wig. That's one of the things.
Oh, I would be in a Ramones tribute band. That'd be great.
There is a documentary. I think it's just called Tribute, and it plays quite a bit on TV. And it is so cringy, fantastic, funny, awful. Hide your eyes to watch these tribute guys and the way they live their life. And not only then, but they're hideous fans who suddenly pretend they're at a Queen concert. It is so awful that you can't stop laughing.
It just doesn't stop off the stage. I got to check that out.
David, you're on Run of Fez.
Hey, I could see Fez in the Queen cover band.
He's wearing his wigs at a Ramone cover band. Do not change this on him.
Spandex isn't going to help me at all.
Why wouldn't you grow your hair out, Fez, if you're in this cover band?
I don't think I could. My hair just does not grow. It gets to a certain length and it just stops.
You act like I don't know you all these years. You act like 2 years ago you just didn't have a huge head of hair. Remember when you stopped, you didn't cut your hair for like a year?
Yeah, but I mean, even after a year, it really wasn't that long, was it?
It was very, very big. It was very thick. It was craziness.
Huh, it just didn't seem it to me.
You think your hair doesn't grow?
Yeah, I mean, I got my head shaved in February, I think, and just now had to go get another haircut. To me, that seems like a long time to have to wait for a haircut.
This is an odd show. We do a very, very odd show.
It is. I think I add a lot of the oddness to it.
No. You're the normal one. On this show, you're the normal one.